My company hired a consultant who tried to fire me to save a few bucks, so I let him delete the only thing keeping the company alive. I've been the senior systems architect for a global logistics firm for 30 years. I built the entire database from scratch. I'm also the only person who knows how to navigate our legacy code, the old messy software from the 90s that our modern systems still rely on to process payments. Last month, the CEO brought in Brad, a 25-year-old efficiency consultant who wears $2,000 suits and has never written a line of code in his life. Brad's job was to trim the fat. On his third day, Brad called me into a meeting. He pointed at a line on a spreadsheet and said, "Your salary is nearly double the average for a developer. Why am I paying for a dinosaur when I can hire 3 juniors for the same price?" I tried to explain the complexity of the legacy code, but he held up a hand and said, "If it isn't documented in the new employee handbook, it doesn't exist. From now on, you are forbidden from touching the legacy server. Focus only on the new UI or find a new job." I asked him to put that in writing. He smugly typed up a formal memo stating that I was strictly prohibited from accessing, modifying, or maintaining any systems older than 5 years, effective immediately. I signed it with a smile. 2 weeks later, the inevitable happened. Every year on January 1st, the legacy system needs a manual handshake to update the tax encryption keys. If that doesn't happen, the system enters fail-safe mode and locks everything down to prevent fraud. I saw the countdown on my monitor. I could have fixed it in 30 seconds. But I looked at Brad's memo pinned to my wall. Strictly prohibited. I clocked out at 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve and turned off my phone. By 9 a.m. on January 2nd, the company was in a total meltdown. No packages were moving, no invoices were being sent, and $10 million in international payments were frozen in limbo. The CEO called my personal phone 42 times. When I finally answered, he was screaming, "The system is down! Brad says you're refusing to log in!" I calmly told the CEO, "I'd love to help, but according to the efficiency memo Brad issued, touching that system is now a fireable offense. I'm just being a loyal employee and following orders." The CEO went silent. Then he asked, "What will it take to get us back online?" I told him I wanted a 50% raise, a guaranteed 5-year contract, and I wanted Brad to be the one to hand-deliver the apology. An hour later, Brad walked into my home office looking like he'd been crying. He had to read a prepared apology while the CEO watched on Zoom. I fixed the unsolvable problem in exactly 45 seconds. Brad was fired that afternoon for gross incompetence, and I used my new raise to buy the same model Porsche he used to brag about. Moral of the story? Don't call the person who built the foundation a dinosaur unless you're prepared for the whole building to fall down.